You're developing a new infused cannabis product, and you've reached the hardest part of the process, locking in the exact right terpene profile. The catalog of available terpenes is massive. If you choose the wrong baseline profile, your product will taste off, and your launch will fail. Consumers have highly specific expectations. If your packaging promises a premium live resin experience, but the liquid inside delivers a flat, artificial botanical taste, your buyers will notice instantly. On the flip side, if you prioritize raw, unrefined hemp extracts without stabilizing them, you are at the mercy of the harvest. Your product will suffer from unpredictable crop-to-crop variance. This diagram shows the 5 distinct product lines Eybna engineered to solve these formulation problems: the Pure, Live, Live Plus, Palette, and Enhancer lines. We are going to ignore the marketing jargon. Looking at this tension scale, we'll focus strictly on the mechanics of these lines, weighing strict botanical consistency on the left against raw hemp authenticity on the right. Every terpene selection functions as a strategic balancing act between botanical consistency, hemp authenticity, and the final mouthfeel you want to deliver. We start with the Pure and Live lines. Think of these as the authentic replicators, formulated specifically to recreate legacy cannabis strains and fresh plant profiles with 0 variance. On the comparison matrix, the input for these lines relies on 40 to 60 botanically derived terpenes. Eybna utilizes raw materials hitting 97% purity, perfectly matching their botanical ingredients to the chromatogram peaks of original cannabis strains. For formulators, this means absolute batch-to-batch scalability. You can run massive, multi-state manufacturing operations, knowing the profile will taste identical every single time. While you gain perfect consistency, the trade-off is that you give up the raw, unrefined complexity that only comes from actual hemp extracts. That brings us to the Live Plus line, which serves as the hybrid answer to the inconsistency of pure hemp. Many formulators want to make fresh hemp claims on their packaging, but they cannot afford the natural crop-to-crop variance that comes with it. On our matrix, the input for Live Plus changes completely. It relies on blending fresh hemp-derived terpenes with botanically derived terpenes. As the function column shows, those botanicals tweak and fill in the missing compounds left behind during extraction. The result is the true, complex olfactory experience of a fresh cannabis flower, stabilized to maintain lab-grade batch consistency. The trade-off for solving that hemp inconsistency is a much more complex formulation profile, which naturally commands a premium pricing structure. If your strategy is to amplify cannabis rather than replicate it, you use the Palette line. Returning to the matrix, we see a radical shift in the input materials. The Palette line introduces non-terpene botanical molecules into the blend, specifically ketones, aldehydes, and esters. Mechanically, these additions force the hidden, sweeter and fruitier notes of cannabis phenotypes right to the front of the palette. Instead of earthy legacy strains, you get profiles dominated by fresh citrus and sweet berry mouthfeels, creating a vibrant new sensory experience. This formulation is engineered specifically for vape and tincture formulators, targeting a mainstream crossover audience. You get a highly marketable, delicious taste, but you sacrifice traditional cannabis purity. It creates a hybrid experience that strict cannabis purists might reject. Finally, we have the Enhancer line, the ultimate tool for custom tuning rather than a standalone strain base. As the final row on our matrix shows, the inputs here are highly concentrated, non-strain-specific aromatic bases. They feature heavy pungent markers or vivid fruity notes like Caribbean pineapple. Formulators use this by taking an existing product and injecting a specific, memorable top note to alter its overall character. To achieve those pungent aromas, the chemistry requires a significantly higher concentration of aldehydes and esters than a standard profile. Looking at the final trade-off column on the matrix, these raw materials carry a high cost, up to $1,250 for 250 milliliters, and demand incredibly careful integration so they don't overpower your base product. While expensive and potent, enhancers give a distinct operational advantage. You can customize your product's sensory markers without having to reinvent your entire supply chain. Let's map these options directly to your target consumer's priority using this decision tree flowchart. If your priority is scaling a classic legacy strain across multiple markets with absolute zero variance, then follow this path down to the pure or live lines to leverage their strict botanical precision. If you are a premium brand that wants to make true fresh hemp claims without falling victim to crop variants, your route is the Live Plus line. And if your consumer prioritizes taste, demanding cannabis effects but with a pastry, sweet, or fruity mouthfeel, follow the third path to the palate line. Finally, if you need to dial in a specific skunky or fruity top note to any of these paths, you bolt on the enhancer line as a modifier. Each of these strategic paths leads to a stable, market-ready end product. Your terpene choice dictates your entire brand identity. The selection defines the specific formulation strategy required to fulfill your product's promise to the consumer.